Hello everyone, what is up? It is me, AlbyMTG. For today's video, we'll be doing the 2018 recap here for my channel. This year has been crazy, yet incredible. I certainly did not expect that at the end of 2018 I would be where I'm currently at. When we first started out, the year of 2018, January 1st, my channel and everything regarding the AlbyMTG brand looked so different compared to what it is now, and I'm extremely happy, extremely thankful for everything that you guys have given me in 2018, and I'm really happy to go over all of the different numbers and everything that we've seen this year throughout the course of my channel. So I'll start off here with the subscribers. On January 1st, I was at 170 subscribers. We are now at 2,270 for an overall growth of 2,100 subscribers in the past 365 days, which is, again, insane. That's a growth rate of about 13.35, I think it was. So 13.35 times as big as my channel was on January 1st, which, again, is just so crazy, so hard to even think about. I think when I started out the year, I was like, maybe 200 will be a good goal. I'll get like 50 subscribers this year. That'll be a good goal. Maybe 250. We'll push for an extra 100 subscribers, but 2,270 is insane, and I can't wait to see that number grow even more, because it means that there's more people listening to me, and I really enjoy that you guys give me this opportunity to sit here and talk about the game that I love, and that you guys give me this opportunity to just connect with so many people online via this wonderful game that we're all playing. It's truly incredible. So those were my numbers for subscribers, an increase of 13.35 times what I was on January 1st, up to 2,270 subscribers right now. As we look at the watch time and views, watch time, people have spent over 1,664,000 minutes watching me talk about Magic, which again is insane. It's crazy to think that people want to listen to me talk, more or less talk about something that I truly enjoy talking about, which is Magic. And the fact that people spend over 1.5 million minutes listening to me speak on Magic is just insane. For views, almost 350,000 views for this year, which again is just incredible. These numbers are just so unfathomable, and when I was putting together this video, I knew I was going to end up recording something like this, where I'm just still in shock and awe that this year has even happened for me in terms of what's happened here on the channel. It's crazy. Thank you all so much for the watch time. Thank you all so much for the views. Again, these numbers are incredible for someone who started out the year with 170 subscribers. If you would have told me that people would have spent over 1.5 million minutes watching me talk by the end of the year, I would have said that you were crazy. And now here we are, and that number seems perfectly reasonable, which again is just so wild. This takes us on to the likes, the comments, and everything else. Likes, 6,970 likes over the course of the year, 373 dislikes, which of course you always wish that dislike number would be 0, but you know, when you post content like mine, where I try and give my opinion on a lot of different things, usually people are going to disagree with the opinion, or I shouldn't say usually they're going to disagree with the opinion. Usually you'll have some number of people that disagree with the opinion, I guess is what I should be saying. You'll have the people that want to leave the dislikes on the video because they don't like that you said, you know, card X is better than card Y, or because you said deck, you know, X is better than deck Y, anything like that. So I'm fine with these numbers. I think that it's crazy how many more likes I've gotten than dislikes. I thought people would hate me a lot more than they do. So seeing the like number being so much higher than the dislike number is just crazy. In terms of comments, over 1,500 comments from you guys, which again is crazy, and then shares, over 950 different shares. That goes across the different platforms like Reddit, Twitter, you know, all these other different websites. Every time you link my content to someone in like a Facebook Messenger chat or something like that, it counts towards a share. So again, those numbers are just crazy, and again, I'm super thankful and appreciative. This takes us on to the videos that did the best this year, which is going to be all of my videos that had over 10,000 views or more. Of course, the 8 undefeated decks in Dominaria Standard ended up with over 50,000 views this year, which again is wild. The Teferi video where I talked about how the wording on Teferi was causing problems for competitive play, they have gone back and actually switched that now. They errated Teferi as of, I think it was last month, they errated the Teferi, but I managed to get over 30,000 views on that video before they errated the Teferi, so again, that's kind of wild too. It's also wild when we look at the dates. The Teferi video came out on April 23rd, and on April 25th, the 8 undefeated decks in Dominaria Standard video came out, so across 2 days worth of upload, or I guess 3 days worth of uploads, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, I got over 85,000 views across 2 videos, which is wild. When I say those numbers, those are the view totals across the entire year. Those, I didn't just like have exactly that number of views on the day that they came out, but just that 2 videos that close together of me coming up with the ideas for those videos both managed to do so well when they both were, you know, imagined and came up with around the same general time period. It's crazy. Then the Turbo Fog deck analysis from Pro Tour M19, that video also has almost 26,000 views. The 8 undefeated decks video for Guilds of Ravnica Standard, that one is over 25,000 views now as well, which again is just crazy. By far the most successful series on my channel is the 8 undefeated decks videos, and really they just started out with this one here in Dominaria. I got the idea for just my random upload for the day. At that time, I was doing daily uploads, and I had this idea that I was just gonna go ahead and look at some of the new decks. Like, you know, it's a new standard season. We'll look at some of the new decks, and then it turned into this thing that just jump started my channel immensely. And this video has been a blessing to me, and it's crazy. Just thinking about what has happened to my channel just from choosing to, you know, sit down one day and record me looking on MTG Goldfish over some decks. It's wild to think about. So those are 4 of my videos that had 10,000 views or more this year. We had an additional 4 here as well. The 8 undefeated decks for Core 2019 Standard, that one has over 25,000 views as well. 10 MTG cards that will keep their value after standard rotation, Fall 2018. That one has over 18,500 views as well. The 10 MTG cards that will keep their value after standard rotation video, that one actually came out the day after my birthday. And so it was like the craziest birthday present ever, just an additional, you know, I think at the time, just an additional few thousand views, and then over time accumulated up to nearly 20,000 views. It was a crazy birthday present. Like, this entire year has just been a crazy present to me in general. After that, the 400 plus Dominaria boosters opened, and then we went over the best pools from the 2 Dominaria cases. 11,667 views on that video. Huge shout out and thank you to my friend Sharif for letting me open up his Dominaria cases here on the channel. We had the idea for it, like he was planning on buying these, and I was pretty much like, you know, can I open them on the channel? And he's like, oh yeah, that'll probably get you a couple of views. You can go ahead and do that. And then it turned into, again, over 10,000 views, which is insane. And then finally, to finish it off, it wouldn't be right to finish off this category without another 8 undefeated decks video. Over 10,000 views here. This was the second one we did for M19. The one on the top there was the 25,000 view one. That one came out on July 10th, and then about a week later, July 18th, I came out with another one because there were so many different decks showing up in Core 2019 Standard, and so it led to an additional video here where we saw another 10,000 views, which again is crazy. So those are the videos on my channel that had over 10,000 views or more this year, which again is extremely crazy, and I can't say thank you enough for this. This takes us onto my favorite videos of the year. These are my 4 favorite deck techs that we did this year. The first one was the Budget 2019 Standard Panharmono red deck that we did. It had Panharmonicon, and then it was a mono red deck which focused on the enters the battlefield triggers of cards like Goblin Chain Whirler, Viashino Pyromancer, and Siege Gang Commander. Definitely a very fun deck to put together. The next one here is a 20 ticket budget Druid Tribal deck. This one is just one of my favorite decks I put together. The views count is obviously pretty low on it in comparison to something like the bottom two, but this was one of the funnest decks that I put together. You get to steal all of your opponent's lands, which is something that's super cool. It's never going to be like a crazy, tier 1 archetype, but it is something that you could like show up to, your FNM or something like that where you're playing a modern event and just have some fun, steal your opponent's lands, and then just win games that way. And then the next two deck techs that we have here, the Black-Red Pauper Burn deck tech and the Green-Red Dinosaur Fling deck tech, both from Core Set 2019. Both of those are pretty special to me because both of those were actually released before Core Set 2019 was entirely spoiled. The first one here, the Pauper Burn deck tech, that was spoiled, or the day that Sovereign's Bite was spoiled, I made this deck in just a couple of hours, uploaded it, and had it out the day that Sovereign's Bite got spoiled. And then when Gigantosaurus was spoiled for Core Set 2019, I got to work and within a day had the full deck tech for the Green-Red Dinosaur Fling deck uploaded. And so it was a lot of fun doing those two deck techs before an entire set was actually out and using cards from those sets. It was really cool, and I hope to do that again in the future, where I was the first person to have a Core Set 2019 Pauper deck tech up, and I was the first person to have a Core Set 2019 Standard deck tech up. So I'd like to have more of those in the future, and as we look forward into 2019, hopefully I will be. That'll be something that I'll be shooting for, trying to acquire the title of saying I had the first YouTube video up of a certain thing with regards to deck techs in a certain standard set or in a Pauper set, something like that. So again, very special to me. Maybe not the best deck techs in the world. I think the bottom two deck techs were probably better than the top two ones. I'm not 100% sure, but by far, out of all the deck techs I've done, these four are easily my favorites. This takes us on to just my other favorite videos of this year. These ones aren't really in a specific category. These are just the ones that I had the most fun doing this year. So the first one and the third one are both tournament recaps from preliminary Pro Tour qualifiers. These two tournament recaps, I made the finals in both of them, and so I really like being able to show on the channel that I can back up all the talk that I'm putting into this game. I am learning about these things, and by spending so much time, making these videos and doing all this other stuff, that I'm able to back it up with tournament results too, even if they're smaller things like preliminary Pro Tour qualifier second place finishes. They're not like Pro Tour top 8s or anything like that. But sometimes I think something that happens with YouTube is people will not really post their results of what they're doing so much, and you'll just kind of listen to their opinions without really knowing how good of a player they really are. So I think that it was something that kind of set me apart, being able to do these tournament reports, show that I have knowledge of the game. I'm able to compete at a pretty reasonable level compared to, maybe someone else who might be giving you a different opinion in comparison. And so I think it added a little bit more, validity to my channel, I guess. And so I really love doing those tournament reports. The one in the middle there, the live stream highlight compilations. I don't live stream very often. I'm hoping to live stream more in 2019, but when I did put together those highlight compilations, it was definitely a lot of fun putting those together. The shouting out 5 smaller MTG YouTube channels. This was my 100th video special, which is kind of crazy to think about now. That video was my 100th video uploaded to YouTube on the AlbyMTG channel. That was on June 3rd. I now have over 212, I think it is. Maybe, yeah, 212. So this video will be 213 on my channel. So in June I was only at 100, and then after June I've uploaded another 113 videos since, which again is crazy in terms of content production. So I was also very happy to make this video too, because I was able to share the love to some of my other friends in the MTG community, some of these people who deserve more subscribers than even I have, but unfortunately just aren't getting the recognition that they deserve, and so I was more than happy to give shoutouts to those individuals. And then the final one, of course, it's the 8 undefeated decks for Dominaria again. It jump-started my channel, really that's how most of you guys know me. That's how probably like 90% of my audience knows me. I'm the guy who does the 8 undefeated deck series. It's an okay title to have, you know. This video again has just really meant a lot to me because it jump started this channel, and I can remember after uploading this video waking up the next day, and I went to class and I was like, oh my gosh, I just gained like so many subscribers from uploading this video last night. I don't know what's happening. And then in between my classes I was sitting there just refreshing over and over again, and the video would go up by like a couple hundred views, and I'd gain a couple more subscribers, and I'd just keep refreshing, and it would do it over and over again. And it was by far the best feeling in the world, and this video was just crazy to me. And I know when I look back on my YouTube career, you know, several years down the road, this is the one video that's going to stand out over all of the rest of them, where I really felt like I had a future in content creation for Magic the Gathering after seeing what happened with this video. This takes us on to some other stuff that happened this year. I got my first sponsorship, CardSphere. CardSphere is a fantastic, fantastic service, and you can see I'm wearing the hat down there in the bottom. I like wearing the hat. The hat's just kind of a sweet little reminder to me that the hard work has kind of paid off. It's really neat that someone has acknowledged me, that I'm someone that they're willing to put their brand on, somebody that, you know, I'm just a kid who sits here and plays Magic, but people are willing to people are willingly wanting to associate their brand and company with me, just this random guy who sits here and talks about Magic. And again, that's a crazy thing to think about, and so I love wearing the hat as kind of an acknowledgement that, you know, I've done it. I've gotten people to really enjoy what I'm doing here on this channel, and people are noticing the hard work that's being put into it. Ironically, the first video that I actually uploaded in 2018 was also this video titled My CardSphere Story Introduction Trading Magic the Gathering Cards Online. This was the first time I had done anything with CardSphere, and it ended up leading me eventually 7 months later to or 9 months later, I guess, to a sponsorship with CardSphere, which again is crazy. I can't believe that it happened. I certainly was not expecting a sponsor this early on into my career of Magic the Gathering content creation, but the fact that I have a sponsor now, again, is insane. And what makes it even better is the fact that this sponsor is just an incredible group of individuals over at the CardSphere website. They're great people, they sponsor great people, and I'm very, very happy that it wasn't like some unethical decision that I had to make for my first sponsor, something where like I don't agree with the company, but you know, maybe I want this sponsor just so other sponsors will come in. It was absolutely nothing like that. I had been telling people to use CardSphere for literally 9 months, and then eventually they came to me and said, "We'll pay you for that." And then I was like, sure, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm down. So it was definitely a lot of fun getting to do with CardSphere this year, and I look forward to doing more things with CardSphere in the future in 2019. Of course, we also had the Patreon page that launched this year. I launched that, I believe, around the same time, somewhere between like September, August, somewhere in that, you know, general area. So I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons who have supported me this year. Nicole, Hayden, James, Jason, Jayathy Swaran, Jeremy, Rodrigo, and Daniel. Your support means the world to me, and I really, really appreciate everything that you guys do for me. It's super, super, you know, crucial to the success of this channel, and you guys are a big part of me being able to do what I want to do here on this channel. It really means a lot that you're willing to support me, and I do greatly, greatly appreciate all of you. So that was the Patreon page. Some additional info that has happened over the course of this year: 175 uploads this year. Again, like I said, we're at 213 after this video goes up, so 175 uploads this year, again, is a crazy number. 160 plus of those uploads came between April of 2018 and now. Really, the second week in April, I kind of realized that I wanted to take this YouTube thing more seriously. I had gone, you know, several months without like uploading videos. I had like in the past, like 2017, I was pretty much like one upload every like 4 months was kind of like my was kind of like my upload schedule, something like that. And then January, February, March, I uploaded about 11 videos, something like that. Somewhere between 11 and 15 videos, somewhere in that general range. And then in April, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see if I can actually do this if I put my mind to it. And then here we are 175 uploads later, or I guess 160 plus uploads later. I think it's 164, but I'm not 100% sure on the exact number. So yeah, 160 plus uploads between April and now, again, is just kind of a crazy number. In July, my channel was enabled for monetization, which again was another huge step in the future of this channel. Because if you guys can recall, at the beginning of this year in February, YouTube had this big thing where they were taking away the rights to monetization from smaller creators who had had it for around, I think they had the policy in place for several years. I want to say like 3 or 4 years, where once you reached, I think it was some number of subscribers, like 100 subscribers or something like that, then you were enabled 100 subscribers and maybe some number of video views, something along those lines. You were enabled then for monetization, and they made the guidelines much stricter for what you needed to do to have monetization enabled. You needed like 40,000 watch hour, or yeah, 40,000 watch hours and um, uh, 40,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, I think is what the new one is. And so as of July, I then became monetized for my YouTube channel, which was crazy. That was after going through, I think, about a month and a half worth of like the application process and all that other kind of stuff too. So again, that was another huge step in this channel, and I couldn't have done it without you guys as well. On Twitter, you guys can follow me at AlbyMTG. I had over 210,000 impressions on Twitter. Impressions are just when people see your tweets, not necessarily when they click on them, retweet them, favorite them, any of that stuff. Just the number of times that a tweet from me was seen by someone this year was over 210,000 times, which again is an insane number, especially because I don't really have that many followers on Twitter. I have less than 600. I think I'm at like 579, somewhere in that range. And over the course of this year, we got 335 new Twitter followers, which again is a super cool number. Very happy to have all of these new Twitter followers. You know, because I do update my Twitter a lot. That's the only social media page that I use. And then in terms of Twitch, I don't stream very often. Again, like I said, I'm hoping to stream more in 2019. But we ended up with 166 new Twitch followers, which again was super, super cool as well. Again, this takes us to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you made it all the way to the end, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I greatly, greatly appreciate everything that you guys have done for me this year. It's been, like I said in the beginning, a crazy, wild year, and you guys have made it all worth it for me, and I'm extremely, extremely thankful. If you guys could leave a like on this video or subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed quite yet, that would be super cool of you. And I'll see you guys here next year for another Magic the Gathering video.